do if you master your mind. If you have a doubt, just watch some videos of Shaolin Kung Fu monks. They break metal with their heads. They walk on fire. They walk on glass. If reality was rigid as we thought, would this even be a possibility? Of course not. The only way this can happen is if the universe is mental. You choose to experience pain or not. A lot of pain is unnecessary, and just a concept in our mind that we create and get attached to it. You can experience this with taking cold showers. I experimented with cold showers, and at the beginning of my journey I was always shivering and my body get tense and I can't wait to get out. But one day I just realized this is just a concept, and it's only because I associate cold showers with pain and how everybody hates them. And I just decided that water is not cold, that everything is just a perception of the mind, and that all feelings of pains, cold, hot, are all experienced in the mind. And I swear it's like I switched a button. I didn't feel any cold and stayed there for like 20 minutes at 4 a.m. in winter. You can change your life situation and transform your life simply by paying attention to the three main aspects that create your reality: how you think, feel, and act. First of all, we should start by the fundamentals, the underlying realities of all things material and immaterial, which is energy. Everything is energy. Whether it's money, fame, women, your semen, everything is energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed and transmuted. Therefore, everything we want or desire is already here. And what makes the form seems different is but the frequency at which they vibrate. The material being gross and vibrating relatively slow, and the spiritual immaterial vibrating at a high speed. This explains why we can only perceive 1% of the reality around us, since it is vibrating at such a high speed. We cannot perceive it in our current vibration, and that's why yogis and monks are able to tap into higher state of consciousness, thus experimenting things that would seem to the average human being as miraculous, because they rise their vibration at such a high level. Now that we explain the basic of it, and that the underlying truth is that everything is just energy, and that everything that ever was and ever will be is already there, let's talk about how we actually create our reality with our mind, where all our experiences stem from. The mind. When you perceive something, where do you really perceive it? The mind. When you feel an emotion, where do you experience it? The mind. When you fall in love or experience joy or blissfulness, what triggers those chemicals? The mind. Everything happens in the mind. But don't mistake the mind for the brain. The brain is but the physical manifestation of the mind. It is like the TV broadcaster. If it is broken, the signal is still there. It's a very simple concept to grasp, once you take the time to analyze it. When you truly understand that all is mind, that the universe is mental, your life will begin to feel more and more like a lucid dream and fluid, and you will begin to move into those higher states, into which those mystics are able to do miracles. And I insist on the word understanding, because I see a lot of people just watching the movie The Secret and not understanding the concept behind it, and just forcing themselves to believe the law of attraction, and force themselves to believe that they are indeed the creator of their reality. But this method always backfires. You will always self-sabotage yourself at the end, because it is only by truly understanding that, by reflecting on your own life experiences and connecting the dots yourself, and not just someone else telling you that your mind create reality, only then can you really begin to use this knowledge, and begin to really become careful about how you think, feel, and act. Because if it is just a belief in someone else's experience, there is no depth to it, and you wouldn't take it very seriously. Which explains why nearly the whole world knows about this knowledge, yet they live in pain and sorrow. Because it's just an empty belief, mere information that is not analyzed nor understood. This is true with any concept in life. Only when you take the time to study it, relate it to your own experience, and use your critical thinking can you truly grasp it. Now, to conclude this video, I want to talk about how retaining your seed give you more abilities to control your mind, which implies controlling your reality, following the truth that everything is energy, and that the only difference between all the forms are the degree at which they vibrate, and that the higher you vibrate, the more access you have to spiritual dimensions, and the more control you have over the physical reality, which is the lower plane. Then we can understand why all the mystics are often celibate, or even if they happen to be married, they have a very strict sex life and only have sex to procreate. Because semen is the most potent energy we have. It is the essence of existence. It is the manifestation of God, literally. It is the creative force, which creates another being when there was none. So to hold this energy within and not leak it, whether through sexual thoughts or sexual intercourse, It has no other way than to go upward and making us vibrate at a higher vibration, thus feeling more energized, driven, joyful, etc. Compared to having sex and leaking your energy, you feel dead, you sleep a lot. You are depressed. This is the reason why all those who decide to take the higher path are insisted upon the vow of celibacy and being chaste. You can't create a higher possibility if you feel dead and lethargic. Just try to remember someday, when you felt lethargic, you won't even get out of your bed, let alone create your reality and reach higher states of dimensions and live a worthwhile life. This is why semen retention is the master key that hold all of these teachings together. You can read about the power of the mind all day, but if you're releasing your energy, that only means you don't have control over your mind to begin with. So it will be useless and